All right, today we're going to get into some seriously mind-bending neuroscience. I'm talking about stuff that will completely flip the script on how you think about emotions. So get ready because you're about to question everything you thought you knew about your own feelings. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Can you really tell how someone's feeling just by looking at their face? I mean, your first reaction is probably, yeah, of course, right? That's what every movie, every TV show, every old school psych book has taught us. But what if I told you that the latest science says that's just wrong? Check out this quote from Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett. She's a total rock star in emotion research. She says, it's basically Western stereotypes enshrined as scientific fact. Whoa, think about that. She's arguing that for more than 100 years, what we've called the science of emotion has been based on cultural ideas, not actual universal biological truth. Okay, so let's just tear this whole idea apart, this myth of universal facial expressions. You know the one. A scowl means you're angry, wide eyes mean you're scared. We've been taught this our whole lives. But the actual data? Well, it tells a completely different story. Let's just take anger, for example. When scientists looked at hundreds and hundreds of studies, what did they find? They found that people, even in Western cultures where this idea started, only scowl about 35% of the time they actually say they're feeling angry. Just 35%. I mean, that is nowhere close to being a universal signal, right? And what's really fascinating is what's happening the other 65% of the time. That's almost 2/3. As you can see here, anger can look like, well, a lot of different things. People cry when they're angry, they might laugh or get really quiet and still. A scowl isn't the face of anger. It's just one of many, many options on the menu. And this right here, this is where it gets really clear how much culture plays a role. We see this face, wide eyes, a gasp, and we immediately think fear. It's like a Hollywood cliche for being scared. But get this. In some Melanesian cultures, that exact same face is a sign of an aggressive threat. It's literally their war face. So one person's, I'm scared, is another person's, I'm about to attack you. Okay, so if emotions aren't these built-in universal reactions that just get triggered, then what in the world are they? To figure that out, we've got to look at what your brain is really doing all day long. It's number one priority. I want you to try this thought experiment. Just imagine, your brain is trapped. It lives its entire existence inside a dark, silent box, your skull. It never sees sunlight. It never hears a sound. It has zero direct contact with the outside world. All it gets is a constant stream of noisy, ambiguous data, little electrical zaps and chemical signals coming from your body. And from all that chaos, it has to guess. It has to guess what's happening out there and what it all means. So it turns out your brain's most important job, its primary function, isn't thinking or seeing or even feeling. It's being an accountant. It's managing what Dr. Barrett calls a body budget. It's constantly predicting what your body's going to need next and moving resources around, glucose, oxygen, hormones, you name it, just to keep you alive and functioning. And the best way to think about this is literally like a bank account for your body. You make deposits when you sleep well or eat a good meal. You make withdrawals every time you do, well, anything, exercise, concentrating hard on a task, even just getting out of bed. And stress? Chronic stress is like a massive, unavoidable tax that just drains your account day in and day out. So, okay, how does this whole body budget thing actually lead to feeling happy or sad or angry? Well, this brings us to the core idea, the big reveal. Your emotions are not reactions that are triggered by stuff happening around you. No. They are experiences that are actively constructed by your brain. You're not just a passive observer of your feelings, you're the architect. And this whole construction process happens in the blink of an eye. Here's how it works. First, your brain gets some raw data from your body. Say, your heart starts pounding. Second, your brain makes a guess, a prediction, about what caused that sensation. Then, third, it creates a quick summary of that guess. And that summary is what we call an emotion. And finally, it prepares your body to do something about it. To put it another way, your feelings are just your brain's stories. They're the narrative it creates to make sense of what's going on with your body budget. That fluttery feeling in your stomach? It isn't nervousness all on its own. It's just a physical sensation. Your brain is what turns it into nervousness by telling a story that connects that feeling to the fact you have a big presentation in 10 minutes.
And because we learn these emotion recipes from our culture, you find all these amazing words in other languages for feelings we don't even have a name for in English. Like, you know that feeling, that irresistible urge to squeeze something adorable, like a kitten or a baby? In the Philippines, they have a word for that, gigil. Or the very specific despair you feel after a really bad haircut. Yep, there's a Japanese term for that too. This isn't just trivia. It's proof that our emotional world is built from the concepts we learn.
Okay, so why does any of this matter? What's the big takeaway? It's huge. If your emotions are constructed, it means you're not at their mercy. You're not just reacting to them. You can be the chef. You can actually have a say in the ingredients that go into your emotional recipes. This really breaks down the shift in mindset. The old view is just, ugh, I feel bad. The new view is to ask, is my body budget running low? Maybe I just need some sleep or a snack. Instead of thinking, this traffic is making me so angry, you can ask yourself, okay, what's the story my brain is telling right now? The more words you have for your feelings, frustration, disappointment, determination, the more options your brain has to work with, instead of just defaulting to angry. This is such a perfect example of this in action. A karate sensei tells a student, get your butterflies flying in formation. He's not saying, stop being nervous. He knows that's impossible. Instead, he's teaching the student to change the story, to recategorize that physical feeling. Those butterflies aren't fear anymore. Now they're readiness, they're focus. It's the exact same sensation in your stomach, but a totally different emotional experience. And that changes everything. And this brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. We don't do this alone. We don't manage our body budgets in isolation. We're social animals, and that means we are constantly, and I mean constantly, messing with each other's nervous systems, whether we mean to or not. Dr. Barrett has this incredible way of putting it. The best thing for a human nervous system is another human. And the worst thing for a human nervous system is also another human. Think about that. We are literally resources for each other. Every nice thing you say, every time you listen, that's a deposit into someone else's body budget. And every sarcastic comment or bit of rudeness, that's a withdrawal. We are the caretakers of each other's nervous systems. That's a huge responsibility. So I'll leave you with this one simple question to think about as you go about your day. With every single person you talk to, every interaction you have, are you being a deposit or are you being a tax on their body budget?